When South Korean actress Lee Se-young uttered the words, "I'll have a baby without a husband," it sent shockwaves throughout the Korean entertainment industry and beyond. Known for her bold roles on screen and her fearless persona in real life, Lee's statement not only defied societal norms but ignited a fierce debate over motherhood, marriage, and the evolving role of women in modern Korea. It wasn't just a revelation, it was a revolution cloaked in personal truth. The confession came during a candid interview that was part of a special feature on independent motherhood. Dressed simply, without the usual glamour of red carpet appearances, Lee spoke with unwavering calm and conviction. Her tone was not one of defiance but of liberation. She wasn't looking for controversy, yet she found herself at the epicenter of one. For fans familiar with her journey, this moment marked a dramatic turn. Lee Se-young, born in 1982, had become one of South Korea's most beloved actresses not just for her talent, but for her authenticity. She began her career in the mid-2000s and quickly rose to prominence with notable roles in dramas like Boys Over Flowers, Wild Romance, and Poseidon. However, what made her stand out wasn't just her screen presence, it was her off-screen personality, tenacious, sporty, and unapologetically herself. Aside from acting, Lee Se-young shocked fans by becoming a professional boxer. She trained relentlessly, competing in amateur tournaments, even while juggling filming schedules. This rare combination of celebrity and athlete made her a role model for many young women in Korea and abroad. Her public image was that of a fighter, not just in the ring, but in life. In 2017, she married businessman Jo Seung-hyun in a private ceremony, shortly after announcing her first pregnancy. Both seemed blissfully happy, sharing glimpses of family life on social media. Their son was born later that year, and Lee often posted moments of their bonding time, showing the softer side of her otherwise tough public image. But over the years, fans began noticing subtle changes. Jo Seung-hyun became noticeably absent from her posts. There were no more couple pictures, no shared family events. Rumors swirled, but Lee remained silent. Until now. Her confession about becoming a mother again, this time without a husband, was as mysterious as it was startling. She offered little context during the initial interview, only that this was her choice, and she felt empowered by it. "I am not lonely," she said. "I am full of purpose." The media frenzy was immediate. Headlines blared across major outlets. Lee Se-young to become single mother again? Actress rejects traditional family norms, scandal or empowerment? On social media, the responses were polarized. Some praised her bravery and independence, others criticized her for potentially setting a bad example in a conservative society that still heavily idealizes traditional family structures. Critics questioned whether Lee was glamorizing single motherhood without addressing the challenges it entails. Meanwhile, supporters argued that she was reclaiming autonomy over her body and her life. The debate quickly expanded beyond Lee Se-young, tapping into larger discussions about gender roles, reproductive rights, and the societal expectations placed on women. In the entertainment industry, where image is everything, such a declaration could easily derail a career. But Lee Se-young has never been one to play by the rules. She has consistently chosen authenticity over appeasement, and this moment felt like the culmination of her life philosophy. She wasn't rejecting love or partnership, she was redefining them on her own terms. Her decision also brought attention to the increasing number of women in South Korea choosing to remain single or delay marriage. With one of the lowest birth rates in the world and a growing population of unmarried women in their 30s and 40s, Korea is undergoing a quiet revolution. This story, while personal, touched on national anxieties and generational shifts. What perhaps made her announcement even more impactful was the absence of scandal. There was no secret affair, no dramatic divorce, no legal battle, just a woman calmly stating her intention to have a child alone. In a culture where women are still often defined by their relationships to men, this was radical. Even among her peers in the entertainment world, reactions were mixed. Fellow actors expressed support publicly, while others remained silent. Industry insiders speculated about the potential fallout. Would brands drop her? Would she lose endorsements? Or would she become a symbol of the new Korean woman? Despite the whirlwind, Lee Se-young maintained her poise. She followed up the interview with a short social media post thanking her fans for their messages, both kind and critical. "I am doing what feels right for me and my child," she wrote. "I hope we can all live truthfully." Part of the fascination with her story lies in its ambiguity. She never explicitly stated whether she was still married or divorced, nor did she reveal how she planned to conceive, through IVF, sperm donation, or otherwise. This vagueness left room for speculation. It also shifted the focus back to the essence of her message, that women should have the freedom to choose their own paths to motherhood. In many ways, Lee Se-young is a reflection of a broader transformation happening in East Asia. Across the region, women are challenging long-held assumptions about marriage, career, and family. In Japan, Taiwan, and China, similar stories have emerged of women opting out of traditional timelines. Yet few have been as bold or as public as Lee. By the end of the first week after her revelation, Lee was no longer just an actress, she had become a symbol. For some, she was a threat to social norms. For others, she was a pioneer. But above all, she was human, navigating the complexities of identity, motherhood, and agency in a society that is still learning how to make space for such choices. What truly led Lee Se-young to this unconventional decision? The answer is as layered as the woman herself. According to close friends, Lee had been contemplating a second child for years. Experience with motherhood had been deeply transformative, even spiritual. Being a mother gave her a new reason to live. One confidant shared, "She always said she wanted another child, regardless of whether she had a partner." Her marriage, though once full of love, had quietly unraveled. There were no public fights, no tabloid scandals. Just the slow, mutual drifting apart that often marks relationships where both individuals grow in different directions. If a separation occurred, it was handled privately and with mutual respect. Lee never confirmed a divorce, only emphasizing her current life and future plans. She was also deeply aware of her biological clock. Now in her early 40s, Lee faced the same dilemma many women do: wait for the right time, or act while the choice is still biologically feasible. But for Lee, this wasn't just a personal timeline, it was a declaration of self-worth. She didn't want to put her dreams of a growing family on hold for the sake of social approval. Medical technology played a pivotal role in enabling her choice. South Korea, while conservative in many ways, has some of the most advanced fertility clinics in the world. Private sperm donors, IVF, egg freezing, these were not just options for Lee, they were tools of empowerment. Though she didn't disclose the specific method, her calm demeanor suggested thorough planning and emotional readiness. Beyond biology and logistics, decision was rooted in values. Lee has often spoken about the importance of emotional stability, love, and intentionality in raising a child. He did not view a missing father figure as a deficit, but rather an opportunity to model strength, passion, and independence. Her first child, she once said, taught me how to love unconditionally. She believes she can offer the same love to another child, on her own terms. Still, the criticism persisted. Netizens accused her of being selfish, of depriving a child of a traditional family. Religious groups called her choice immoral. Conservative pundits warned of the breakdown of family values. But for every naysayer, there was a supporter, women writing open letters of gratitude, young men applauding her honesty, and fellow single mothers celebrating her visibility. One cannot overlook the pressure of being a female public figure in South Korea. The K-entertainment world is notoriously strict, especially when it comes to image and morality. Many actresses hide pregnancies, delay marriages, or even leave the industry entirely after becoming mothers. Lee Se-young was defying all of that. Career, interestingly, seemed to flourish in parallel with the controversy. Brands that targeted modern women, fitness apparel, skincare, wellness products, embraced her as the face of change. She began receiving invitations to speak at women's forums, social policy panels, and even university events. In redefining motherhood, she was redefining celebrity. Perhaps the most compelling part of Lee's journey is how ordinary it feels beneath the headlines. Her desire to have another child, to build a life filled with meaning, to assert control over her destiny, these are not extraordinary impulses. What makes them extraordinary is the context, a society that still hesitates to fully accept them. In many ways, Lee Si-young is not asking to be understood. She is simply asking to be allowed. And in doing so, she opens the door for countless others who feel trapped between tradition and truth. As South Korea grapples with falling birth rates, changing family structures, and increasing gender equality, stories like Lee's may become less rare. They will never be less important, because every time a woman like her speaks out, she reclaims space, not just for herself, but for an entire generation. In the end, perhaps the most tragical part of Lee Si-young's confession wasn't the decision to have a baby without a husband. It was her unwavering belief that she could, and should, do so proudly, publicly, and powerfully.